Welcome back. It is 5:14 on this Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. We had some pretty good weather for baseball. Here's AT&T Field. Again, just a couple more games left. This was Saturday night. Had some storms in the background. I was actually at this game. This was a Grateful Dead night. Really cool uniforms. This was sent in by April Hutchins. Great shot there of the sun going down. You can see the ridge in the background. So thank you, April, for sending that one in to us. But as we step out the door on this Monday, August 18th, we are waking up to relatively mild temperatures in the 70s. We will quickly climb into the 80s by mid-morning. And just like that, we'll be back in the low to mid 90s. So today going to be very similar to what we had yesterday. We'll have a very low chance of rain. There's still going to be a few pop-up storms here and there, but a lot of us are going to stay dry to start the work week. Here's a look at your highs: 95 in Cleveland and Chattanooga, 90 in Blue Ridge, 88 in Altamont, and 90 in Fort Payne. The heat index again close to 100. And as for that allergy index, starting to go up as we head into, I would say, the middle of the week, especially Thursday, Friday, and even Wednesday. Primary allergens, grasses, and ragweed. Again, this time of the year, that's when ragweed becomes pretty big issue. So if you have allergies, just be mindful of that. Here's a look at our next 7 days. The temperature is going to be hot through about Thursday. We will cool down somewhat heading into the weekend as temperatures drop back into the mid 80s. You can't see it yet, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, that humidity really could drop off quite a bit. We have a front that's going to try to work through. Will it get this far south? I think it's a possibility, so I'll keep a close eye on that trend, but there could be some cooler than normal conditions setting up for a lot of the East Coast, so we're going to watch that pretty closely again as we kind of close out the month of August. Here's a look at North Georgia Toyota down in Dalton, just off of Walnut Avenue. Again, we have a few more cars out there, but things are quiet. Really not tracking any issues weather-wise. Not a drop of green across the southeast, and no rain. Really not seeing any fog as you're stepping out on this Monday morning. And as we take a look at your futurecast, again, notice through the morning, really not a whole lot going on, and even the afternoon. I mean, the best chance of any storms likely going to be in western North Carolina down into the North Georgia mountains of Fannin, Gilmer, Cherokee counties. Out of our coverage area, you guys are going to have the best chance of seeing any of those pop-up showers and storms. As we continue through the evening, really not a whole lot going on. Overnight, things are going to be quiet. And I think tomorrow we'll have a slightly better chance of seeing some of those pop-ups. Once again, south and east of Chattanooga into western North Carolina and the North Georgia mountains, going to be the best chance of seeing some of that rain. Could be widespread during the afternoon and evening tomorrow, so we'll keep a close eye on that trend as well. But briefly talking about the tropics, again, Aaron became a major hurricane, actually hit Category 5 strength earlier this weekend, I believe Saturday. Now a Category 4 storm, expected to continue to move off to the northeast. Again, there's the Dominican Republic for reference, and you can see that eye wall looks like a little buzzsaw out there. Very strong storm, can be a very large storm, and going to continue to push up into parts of the East Coast, just off the East Coast. Going to split the uprights between the Outer Banks and Bermuda, expected to become a Category 2 storm heading into the end of the week. So going to be some choppy seas, rip threats for parts of the East Coast, but not going to have any direct impacts. So that's the good news. And we do have another tropical wave that could become our next named storm later this week, about a 50% chance of development, and this is right behind Aaron. So again, things are continuing to heat up into the tropics. Fortunately for us, we're not going to have any kind of impacts here locally, at least over the next 7 to 10 days as we close out August. But of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on the tropics as we continue into the Atlantic hurricane season. Here's looking at the next 7 days. We'll have mainly dry conditions, I'm thinking Monday and Tuesday, and then going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rain chances will gradually start to sneak back up. Temperatures in the 90s through about Thursday. Then we do get a little bit of a cool down heading into Friday. Of course, we got Friday night football. Friday, 86. Going to be some showers and storms to dodge, and then this weekend, much the same.
All right. Typical pattern, right?
It's August.
No,
but I mean, next week, we are looking at the potential for lower humidity. Temperatures could drop down into the low 80s. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm watching you closely.
That'll be real nice.
Yeah,